Good morning, everyone. I'm Daft, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different than usual. I figured I had a lot of stuff up that was just like general gameplay content and whatever. I do that basically every day anyway. But what I haven't done in a while is a little bit of a tutorial. So I figured I have something here that I can do that's kind of a little neat to show off my process, and some people might be interested in it, so I figured why not make a quick little video here. It's gonna be like an hour probably, just kind of showing you what all I do here. So today we're gonna be doing a thumbnail tutorial. So right now I'll start by mentioning I use basically two programs whenever I do my thumbnails, three kind of. I use paint.net, which is an image editing software that's basically like the old MS Paint off of like Windows XP, but it's more fully featured. It's kind of the same kind of layout, and it's a very simple graphics editing program, but I like it for some things. I don't like it for other things. Basically, if you want to do something quick, dirty, and simple, it's a lot quicker and easier to do than the second program I use, which is GIMP. Now, GIMP is a more fully featured, like super in-depth image editing software that is meant to be a mainline competitor for Photoshop. So it's got a lot of nitty-gritty details and a lot of tools and utilities and like crazy amounts of detailed modification tools, yada yada, all the stuff. If you can think of it, you can do it in here, but also doing a lot of the really simple stuff is several steps removed from just using paint.net. Excuse me. So that's kind of why I use a mix of the programs. I use paint.net for something that's supposed to be just quick and simple. I use GIMP for the like crazier, more in-depth stuff that I need to do. And then the third tool I kind of use is my phone. It's a lot of times easier to take a picture with my cell phone and throw it on my Google Drive and edit it than what it would be to if the format or the layout on the phone isn't just right, or it's something where I kind of need both of my hands in the picture, like if I'm doing like a or like a ha or something like that. I'll need to use my webcam, but then that also means I need to take a video and then strip that picture out of the video. Which can be a little bit more time intensive. So a lot of times I'll just like use my green screen here, take a picture with my cell phone doing like whatever facial expression I want. You'll probably see that during the video. And then I throw it on my Google Drive, bring it over to my computer and edit it from there. So I guess the first thing we're gonna look at here is I have two series that I wanna make thumbnails for that I haven't yet. So I'm not going to show you guys anything exciting over on the channel dashboard here, just upcoming live streams. Here we go. So two series I want to make thumbnails for that I haven't really made like any nice thumbnails for yet. One is I did a handful of episodes of Metal Gear Solid 4. All right, the others are probably on the next page. Metal Gear Solid 4, and I want to make a screenshot or a thumbnail for that. That's a little bit more than just like picture of the game. And I also want to make one for Magic the Gathering Arena. I have made a few for MTG Arena already, but they're kind of like, let me put it this way. I have been doing streams and YouTube uploads for like 3-4 years now. I've been doing streams for longer, but I've been doing like YouTube uploads for like 3-4 years now. I've learned a lot. Like I haven't gotten a whole lot of views. I haven't had a ton of stuff out there. Like you can see right now my video count. Well, you can't because it's hidden. But my video count is 162. I don't have a ton of videos out here yet. It's not that much, especially considering I've been doing videos for like 4 years. Hi, Chickpea. What would you like, sweetheart? I'm doing a thing right now. You want to come up on my lap? You want some scritchies? Come on. Okay, Chickpea doesn't want lap. But originally, what I was getting to, I've been doing videos on YouTube for a few years now. Originally, I just left them as is and didn't put any thumbnails up. Just last year, I started doing thumbnails, and even in the year since I've started doing thumbnails, I've learned a lot about what looks good and what doesn't. Here, let me show you an example of one of my earlier thumbnails. Let's see, Magic the Gathering Arena was, I think, one of the first ones I did. So this, it's got my old logo in the corner. It's just got a bunch of crap on screen. Like, this is a very good looking picture that I like a lot. But trying to see that as a thumbnail, like imagine that on a YouTube video shrunk down to like that big, and you're scrolling past it whenever you're just like looking through YouTube videos to watch. You're not going to read this. You're not going to be able to tell what that is. That's just a bunch of barely legible freaking splotches of color against a background, and it's... Chickpea, did you fall, sweetheart? Yeah, you fell. This is indistinguishable. You can't look at this and tell what the heck is going on with it. So we got to fix that. The color is like, no, Chickpea, you're not allowed on the table, not allowed on the desk. I like having colorful thumbnails. It's good both for algorithms, making sure people notice and want to click on your video. And also, I just like colorful things. So we're going to try to take elements of the splash of colors in it, but we're going to do something better than this. And so what we're going to do here, we're going to probably let's do the Metal Gear Solid one first. So first off, you want to go out to Google, because we need a picture. So let's look up Metal Gear Solid V. Chickpea, what the hell are you trying to do? You are falling all over the place. Sit there and get scritchies and relax. Okay, so we need to find a good picture. It's gonna grab people. And this ain't bad, but there's not a lot of color to it. It's very, oh, it's also a tiny one. This is not Metal Gear Solid 5. How about this? Now this is kind of what I'm looking for here. Oh God, that's such a tiny picture. We can jazz it up a little bit. We can work with this. We can work with this. Okay, so oh, that's a tiny one though. Okay, let's TinEye this. Now, TinEye is an online search engine that does image searching. So you take a picture, you throw the picture in, and it looks for versions, like other versions of that picture. So I have sort by biggest image. Let's see, how big is this one? Like, here, my image. It's not that much bigger. It is bigger, but it's not that much bigger, but we might be forced to going with that one. That one's huge. Okay. You know, we can maybe do this, though. Okay, we can work with this. So let's pull up this boy to start with. Okay, directory not found. You have to deal with that a lot with TinEye, unfortunately, because it archives and caches the images it finds, and then sometimes you just can't get back to them because they don't exist anymore. God dang it. Okay. PC Gamer. I doubt this one has gone anywhere. There we go. Okay. We're going to copy this image. We're going to take it over here into paint.net to start off with, because first off, it's too big. There's a lot of dead space over here. I try to shoot for pictures being about 2/3 to 3/4 of my canvas size here. There we go. Why are you trying to... There we go. So if we're doing about 2/3, why are you doing that? I don't want to... Okay, whatever. We'll say about here. So we want to try to get it around 830 by, so about 700 by 800-ish. ish. Maybe a little bit wider yet. God damn it, what is it doing? So about 9 by 7. So the main thing here is that even if we crop it to about like that, the pixels are a lot bigger. For my thumbnails, to keep things kind of simple, I do a 1080 by 720, 720p thumbnail. You don't need a full 1080p thumbnail for YouTube. I don't feel like it's going to shrink it down and mash it anyway. You're never going to see that full 1080p image in your browser or whatever, unless you're browsing YouTube at 4K, in which case maybe, but like I don't know that necessarily the website scales that way. But what we're going to want to do here, we're going to scale this down. We're going to resize the image to be a height of 720p. Yeah, we'll do that. Or 720 pixels, the height. So that'll give us this image size, 1280 by 720. Actually, that might be the resolution I make my thumbnails at. 1280 by 720. Image, canvas size. Yeah, 1280 by 720. So this right here is the exact same image size as our thumbnail base. We could take this and throw it right over, but again, there's a lot of dead space and it's very dark. The one thing you really, really want to do is make sure that you have good color on your thumbnail so that they're like bright, they're pop, they're eye-catching. So first off, we're again going to cut this down. So let's do canvas size. That canvas size just changes the size of the actual image itself. Resize fixes, readjusts canvas size is literally like I'm going to keep the picture where it is, but I'm going to move the borders and the boundaries of it. We're going to use that. So we're going to crop this down to about 900. And that's going to shave off the left 380 pixels. And we're getting a much more square image here. So if we take this and plop it in here, do a new layer, you'll see that takes up roughly about that 2/3 to 3/4 that we wanted. So this is good. Another thing you want to do is, again, color. Color is super important. You want to catch eyes. So I have a preset background here that this nice teal color that I actually use as my my Twitch like default color. You know, it's like I think my default color of my text that I type in Twitch, and it's the default color of if I have something that's missing and it's like, well, we just need a filler color, it's going to use that teal. So that's a good thing to start with. Good. Okay, so this is the full size. All right. Okay, so we have the teal background, we have the face here, and the other couple of things that I have is I have my channel logo, like my name, my splash. Again, colorful, lots of bright colors, catches eye. But you also want to put something identifiable on all of your thumbnails that kind of people see it and they recognize it and they're like, oh yeah, you want something consistent. So I made this like little logo thing here. I think I originally used the logo creator off of Streamlabs website, which they have a lot of like tools that they can use. You have to pay for them. But like I designed it in the software they use, like this just kind of like flashy, splashy logo. And then I like literally just copied it, pasted it, threw it in paint.net and recreated it using the tools. Like I got like parallelogram tools and like made shapes, and I might do a tutorial later showing like how that kind of thing's done. But for now, just suffice to say, I have a logo. If you want to find your own logo or make your own logo, there's lots of places out there, websites that'll give you the tools you need to make your own logo. Even if you don't have one yet, logos, super duper important on YouTube. All right, so we're gonna, nope, I want to move this, please, thank you. We're gonna just kind of we're gonna move it around a little bit. So I actually have more logos for me. So I have a Daft Plays logo. That's for my edited videos, and I have a daft streams, which is my my raw uncut stuff. So I do these two different colored logos to differentiate. So if people take a look, they see the the bright green, and they immediately can recognize that, oh, these are the cut down edited Let's Play videos. Whereas if we have my streams, nope, that's the old one. I should get rid of that. Streams, it's a different color. And that's also instantly identifiable. People will take a look at that and see that's something different, which is again good because I want to keep my streams differentiated from my cut down Let's Plays. I want people to be able to take a glance and immediately know if they're continuing the Let's Play, or if they're seeing a link for a stream that they might not want to watch just yet, or might not want to watch at all. So anyway, we have that. We have a little bit of color. Also, here's the one where I'm going to be honest. I run into issues with this because I'm not super sure what to do with it. There's still a lot of dead space over here, and I don't entirely know what to do with all that dead space on the image. In this case, I usually find ways to modify it, and you know what I think we're gonna do? You know what, I said I had an idea earlier. Let's go back to YouTube, or back to Google. So Metal Gear Solid 5 logo. We're gonna find somebody that just stripped down the logo by itself, which is great. Okay, that's Ground Zeroes, which was the prequel to MGS5. Excuse me. Okay, Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. So we're going to copy this. We're going to bring it down here. First, let's see how big this ends up being. Big. So you know what we can do? GSV TPP, the Phantom Pain. One thing that's GIMP lets you do that Paint.net doesn't is you can resize individual layers. So we're gonna scale layer here, and we're gonna drop this guy to, let's say, like 50% size. We'll see how this looks. Good. That looks pretty good. All right, so that helps us fill out some of that dead space, which is good. But then we have the other problem, is that this is starting to get covered up. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take this, we're gonna move it off a little bit, because again, there's still some dead space behind. That takes us closer to 2/3 than 3/4, but that's still good. That's still acceptable range. Okay, I'm gonna save here because I don't want to lose any progress. So next is the really fun part, and I actually mean it's really fun. We need to flash this up a little bit by getting my face somewhere on there. My face more identifiable, more recognizable. It indicates people see the MGS5 logo and they've seen that cover a million times. You want to differentiate yourself. You want to throw something up there that somebody will look and they'll think, oh, that's just, wait a second, that's not the same thing I'm used to seeing. And that's where the pictures come in handy. So we're gonna line my face up here, take glasses off. I don't like having my glasses in my pictures that I'm editing. I usually wear contacts on stream, but whenever I'm just working at the computer, it's easier just to have my glasses on. Plus, my eyes have a weird thing with trying to focus on text on screen, on computer screens. Something with contacts, I don't know what. So it's easier for me to work with just glasses. I guess that's maybe a little bit of TMI. Also, you're probably going to notice I'm pretty stubbly here. I haven't shaved for a few days. I nicked the top of my head pretty bad the last time I tried to shave. So it's still scabbed a little bit, which is gross, but like, I'm not going to try to shave right now and end up opening it back up and making issues. So I'm a little shaggy here. It's whatever. We'll just deal with it. Besides, I'm not really going to get much of the hair here. Most of what I want to get is my face, because I'm going to try to do a profile of myself like on the image itself, and I'm going to cut out Snake's face and put my own where his is. So we're going to get the camera here. We're going to flip it around. Okay, make sure we're getting my face in shot. Get a good angle of it. We're going to look straight. And what kind of expression? He just has like stone-faced. Now, the question is, do I want to do something goofy or do I want to leave it stone? You know, let's do a little goofy. Let's do a little goofy. How goofy do we want to go? Wait, why did timer turn on? God dang it. Oh, it didn't. Why did? Okay. Okay, we want to get a little bit more of the front of my face. I was turned a little bit too far to the side. How does that look? And we're going to do one more because I want to do it a little bit differently. I'm going to see if the looking at the camera comes off. Yeah, there we go. You know, we actually, we need to get an absolute profile, and that okay, that should do it. Yes, that'll work. Okay. We do share to drive, save, pop over to my drive because my phone doesn't like doing things in the background. Uploading, great. All right, so you'll get to see that here in a second whenever it pops into my Google Drive. And it's right... Where's that? There we go. Okay. Drive on my side took a minute to update. Okay. And we're gonna edit. Now, this is one of the things where I wish I had a full wall green screen. I just have like it's put up on the wall. If I... It's just a poster, basically. It's a green screen poster. It's not that big. It's like about 8 feet by about like 8 by 5. We'll say, but it's about 8 by 5, somewhere thereabouts. But yeah, you can see like on the picture itself, you can see I caught some of the not green screen from the wall. But that's fine. I wish I had a full green screen because it would make it so much easier to edit this down if I could catch all of the stuff. Ooh, that's too much. Ooh, that's too much. There we go. But we'll work with the tools that you have, especially since I don't have an unlimited budget here. No, 2,000. There we go. All right. So my phone camera is actually pretty good quality. Like the color's not amazing, but it's very high detail, high definition. The image itself here, you can see, yeah, that's not cut off. 5,000 by 6,500 pixels. It's big. I like, you need a pretty decent computer to be able to work with an image that big without having like a whole lot of lag. Not like super beefy, but like a decent strength computer. But I like working with the images as big as possible, and because I'd rather work on it big and then shrink it down, because if I have like some deformities or something doesn't look right, shrinking it will make it much less noticeable than if I had to edit it whenever it was smaller and then it's just shaving way more off than I want. Okay, so the one downside to the green screen is if you zoom in pretty far here, you can see like there's a lot of like just this green tinting on the outside of everything, especially where hair is. You can see the green screen in between my eyebrow hairs, my large, voluptuous eyebrow hairs. So we're going to take the lasso select tool and we're just going to skim down over these. You know, we're not going to cut all of them off. Usually I cut all of them off, but we want a little bit of definition here. So we're just going to try to kind of cut in around there. And then we take that off. And you see whenever you zoom out, you still got some eyebrow, but it's not so grossly green. We're going to do the same with the top of the hair and the beard, because those also catch a lot of that green on the mustache too. So this process is a little time consuming, but like, I feel like it's good results. And it's fun. Like, I like doing goofy thumbnails for my videos just because it's fun. It's fun to make these weird faces and see how good they are at catching people's attention. I'm gonna go a little bit overzealous with the beard because it's just, we don't need like big fuzzy beard on this freaking image. Let's see, I'm gonna do, also gonna grab some of the, oh, not that much. I'm gonna grab, see if I can just get like this outer layer of green off like the front of my face. I want, okay, so this looks like a lot that's getting taken off, but if you zoom out, like in the grand scheme of things, in the actual like percentage of this pixel this picture that's taken out, it's nothing. When I shrink this down, that's going to be imperceptible. And it's going to take off a little bit of the tip of my nose, but it's fine. It'll be fine. That's again, so this is again why I like editing these things in as big a resolution as possible, and then shrinking them down afterwards. Because you can get away with stuff like this. If I had shaved, you know, 10 pixels off whenever the image is only 600 pixels wide, that's much more noticeable than whenever it's 6,000. This might be a little bit harder to catch because of the shadows and the coloration here, so we're probably not going to worry about this. Stuff down. Oh, push that too. Okay. Lasso select tool is a godsend. Now, you can do this same kind of thing in GIMP. It's just the thing I said earlier about taking much more time and much more steps to get the same kind of simple stuff done. I prefer doing this in paint.net just because it is quick and it is easy and it's just done. That being said, I am going to include links to the tools in the video description if you guys want to get any of these for yourself. Stuff in. Yeah, there we go. Now this is important because this is actually going to be what's showing up on the picture, on the thumbnail. All right, so that is going to give us a good bit to work with here. So now we're going to try to skin the face off without getting, you know what? I don't need to worry about not catching the white space. White space is fine. So we're gonna just take like up to say about the ear. Okay. We're gonna copy this. Where'd my mouse go? There it is. We're gonna do a new layer and we're gonna paste and see how big. It's still way too big. That's right, way too big. Image. So you know, we're gonna copy this just to a new image, so we can work with it without having to worry about the other stuff. Because I think this is all we're gonna need. I don't think we're gonna need any more of my body or any like further back on my face for what all we're replacing here. Okay, so now we're going to start the tedious process of just shrinking it down. Pick a number, throw it at the wall. We're going to shrink this down to, let's start by 20% and see how much bigger it still is than the final image. That's not bad. 20's close. Now you're going to see me whenever I am trying to find the right size. I always Control Z to get it back to its original size before I shrink it down again. If you shrink, then shrink, then shrink, the image quality gets impacted a lot more than if you take the full-size image and shrink it once to the right size. So that's a good thing if you don't want weird artifacts and weird, like, pixely messes on your final images. Always revert to the original size if you're shrinking over and over again before you do a shrink. Until you hone in and find that one perfect size to shrink it to, and then yeah, just do that as the one. Ugh. Excuse me. All right, so 20 was too big. We're gonna try 15% this time. Damn, that's still a little bit too big. Just a smidge though. Just a smidge. Let's try putting it like, say, 12. Image resize by percentage 12. That's pretty much exactly where we want it. Okay. So now what we're going to do. Yeah, you can actually even see, like, it's. Yeah, that'll work good. One problem though is I forgot to cut off some of the top of the wall above my green screen, but that's fine. Okay, so now we're gonna drop this below, and let's see, how do we want to do this? We can. Okay. So we're gonna, ooh, there's some more. Invert selection, erase. There was some more fiddly gunk around. I didn't want it in the image. Okay, so what we can do is we can do tolerance 0. We can do a magic select. Magic wand select of the blank space, then go up to edit invert selection so that we are selecting my face and nothing extra. So we're selecting all of what's there of my face, nothing extra. We're going to turn this layer back on, and you'll see it's highlighting and showing you exactly where the area of that is going to be. Shoot, I still. 1 second. It's gonna bother me if I don't fix this. Still had some stuff. There we go. What? Huh? The heck? Oh. This is the one thing I don't like about paint.net because it's very frustrating. So you see here, background is lit up in blue, but it's unchecked. It's not a visible layer, but because it's the one highlighted in blue, whenever I try to erase, it's erasing from that background. I have to actually be selected my layer 2 to be editing it. All right, so let's get that splotch again, erase. Make sure it still looks, no, okay. There we go. Okay, let's try that one more time. Catch this, E, magic select. This is the one problem, is there's a lot of fuzz. Let's try to select the translucent bits. There we go. You don't want to have those translucent bits if you can avoid it. Because if you, the next step we're going to do, I'll pretty much come back to that. I'll show you. So again, we're going to select the blank space, the white, not the white space, the nothing space, the empty space. We're gonna invert selection so it highlights my face, excluding the little semi-transparent bits that we do not want. And then we're gonna put the original image back up. And now we're gonna use the erase tool, and we're gonna tune this down to, like, say 50 for a little bit of like, a little bit of detail management here. Okay, so we're catching a little bit of his beard, but pretty nice. Okay, terrible beard. It's fine. So the one thing I want to try to keep here is I want to keep his hairline. I don't want to fade over that. That's why I don't want like a huge brush. I don't want to just wipe out everything. I want to try to keep some of the features present. So we're just gonna do this. Keep most of the facial hair there, and we'll come back and clean it up a little bit more later. This, and then I'm gonna keep his manly sideburns into my okay sideburns. That might be, my sideburns are fine. Just Snake has some very intense sideburns, so we're gonna cut it like there-ish. All right. We're gonna turn this brush width down to 20. You know what? 20 might be too high even. Let's do 10. We'll just kind of like brush this here. Try to keep the hairline. But get rid of like the skin. Now we can also even do some translucent stuff. The only other issue is that, again, the image is very, very dark. Like, my skin tone is so much lighter than what's being used for Snake here. That looks... All right, let's try unselecting it. That looks like I have a snake wig on, but at least my face is there and it's noticeable. Especially with the color difference. And I'm doing a kind of a face. So that's not coming off. Like the offset eyebrows that I would do making that, like that I did whenever making that face isn't coming off because you can only see the one. Yeah, that was the face I was doing, and of course that doesn't come across. It just looks angry, angry Snake Man. You know what? Let's take this also. Oh, no, wrong layer. Let's get rid of this also. We'll just do my sideburns. Screw Snake sideburns. A little bit into the weeds there. A little bit off. I'm gonna do this like a little bit at a time until we kind of get to about where there. We'll take this out also. Okay. There we go. So, what I had said before about not wanting to get these semi-transparent pixels. So if we had captured all the semi-transparent pixels and we ended up cutting off, like say this stuff around here, you would see those semi-transparent pictures, but some of the whiteness of the background would be coming through, and that would look terrible. You'd see these like little, you'd see the pinpoint pixels where it would look messy and not great. So we don't want that. Absolutely don't want that. So that's why I wanted to get rid of the semi-transparent pixels. So that's only full oh, my nose today. Full opacity pixels. So we don't even get any weirdness. Okay, so now we're gonna take this because I'm happy with this. It's not amazing, but it's enough to make people like notice that something's weird and something's different there. If I wanted to be, you know what, one other thing I can do. Like, oh, cancel, wrong button. I can take this image, put it on a new one here, and I can do some hue saturation. And we can mess with the saturation to make it like a little bit darker, and maybe like a little bit more matching what was in the original. Yeah. So turn up the hue so the colors are more present, turn down the brightness so that it's just darker in general. And if I keep going with that, I might actually be able to match the same kind of color as what was on the original image. Okay, so what we're left with at the moment now is that we have an image that overall looks close to the darks, the dark aspects of the original image, but not so much the lights anymore. Like if we go back and look at the original image, you see Snake's face looks as though like he's getting flashed in the face with like a spotlight or a strong flashlight or something. We can do a little bit of something to try to kind of duplicate this effect. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna save this as, we're gonna save this just real quick. I don't want to lose this progress. MGSV TPP. But I don't want to completely. Okay. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna take this, and we're gonna make a new GIMP image, which is, oh, why did it? How big is that? About. Let's do this. Edit, invert selection again. Okay, 255 by 457. So let's say like 3 by 5, 300 by 500. So this, discard, new, 300 by 500. Okay. Did it paste off the side? Whatever. All right, so this, we have the darkened face. We're gonna go back into paint.net, and we're gonna do a couple of Control Z's to get it back to the original color before, right here. All right, and we're gonna go into GIMP, make sure we have 2 layers. We actually don't need this background. Paste this in, make that to a new layer. Make sure it is covering, yes, the exact same space. All right, now let me preface this by saying, I guess I should have kind of said this at the top of the tutorial. I'm not a professional. I'm not a professional anything. I'm not a professional video editor. I'm not a professional graphic designer or photo editor or photographer or anything. This is all 100% me being amateur casual here and just kind of picking up stuff along the way. So like, don't feel like you need to know, don't feel like you need to be some high paid, awesome sauce, Mr. McPants, Richie Rich special boy to be able to do stuff like this. And you don't need to be like super specialized. You just need to kind of have an idea and have the handful of little tools to do it. Like, I'm sure there's a million things that if I was really super good with GIMP, I could do to make this look insanely good. Like, I could probably, if I was good enough, match the original image exactly with the colorations and the lighting and all that. I don't know how to do that stuff. But what I have picked up over the last year or so of me doing thumbnails is little tips and little bits and bobs and pieces, and that's what I'm kind of like taking this time to show you guys. But what we're gonna do here, I said how there's something that's where like the front is like lit up, and as you go back, it's kind of like dark and like he's getting flashed with a flashlight or a spotlight. We're gonna try to emulate that effect a little bit. Not great. There are better ways to emulate this effect that I know exist out there. I don't know them, so we're gonna do this. We're gonna do a crossfade. We're going to make it so that this top layer, the lighter part, fades into the darker part. And to do that, we're going to take the layer in GIMP, we're going to right click it, and we're going to do add layer mask, white full opacity, add, and then we're going to take the gradient tool up here and we're going to drag across. And what this is going to do, we did it backwards actually. What this is going to do is it's going to start to fade out the light so that the darker part is coming in behind it. That's okay, but like we really want to make sure to grab like, yeah, like that. So we want to make sure we get the full scale of the darkness and the full scale of the lightness. So that's where you want to kind of grab somewhere in like maybe the middle. I'm gonna try like the middle. See how that looks. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so we're going to compress this down. We're gonna copy this. I don't know why GIMP's doing that. We're gonna go back to paint.net where we're working. We're gonna hide that layer that was originally there, and we're gonna paste this face back in. Now we can, the cutout's still there, so we can kind of sync this up. I think that's exactly where it originally was. And you can see here there's that fading effect. So it's lighter in front, darker towards the back. It's not perfect. Like, to me, it still looks brighter. But that could have been me not. Okay, let's take this. So this is the darkened image. We're gonna darken this up a little bit more. Hue, saturation. Yes, Chickpea, can I help you? What do you want? Not lunchtime yet. You're not getting food yet. No, it's not lunchtime. Get. So we're gonna darken it a little bit more. Why is it not? Okay. Hue, saturation. Yeah, once again, oh. Okay, this is the image we started with. So let's darken it a little bit more. We're gonna make it like dark. We're gonna fade this boy like crazy. Okay. All right, we're gonna Control Z this. All right, back here. Anchor this. It'll overwrite the one we originally had. Layer mask. Delete layer mask. We're gonna redo the layer mask. We're gonna do that gradient again. Again, we're gonna start like somewhere here. Let's start like maybe middle of the face, and then we'll just, because like just the front part is the one that's getting hit with that flashlight, right? So do something like the very front of my face is very light, but as soon as you get off like the front of the face itself, it's I'm sure there's a way you could like curve it or make it look like a little bit more professional, but we're just gonna do like what I can do. Just do like something like. Okay, cool. I like that. Apply layer mask. Then we're gonna that. We're gonna copy and paste one more time. Back over here. Get real close up and just match them pixels. Yeah, there we go. So again, not perfect, but I think it gets the job done. And you can see that's that thing where, again, it's lighter towards the top front. As you get farther back, it shadows out. And I'm liking where this is. So we're gonna delete that original layer. We're gonna merge layers down. And then we're gonna take our finished product here, plop it back over in GIMP. We're gonna overwrite, yes, that right there. And why does it look so much lighter in GIMP? It's not me, right? It looks brighter in GIMP. No, it's me. Being weird. I was happy with it until I compared it to GIMP. So, okay, fine. Doing one last, we're gonna make this dark as days. Go, so it's like super shadowed. Okay, copy this. Go back into here, undo that. Pasted layer, paste back over, and it's gonna be, I'm gonna anchor that right over. Nice. Oh, I forgot to undo the layer mask. Ah, there we go. Paste this over, anchor it, delete layer mask, add layer mask. I'm gonna do that one last time. And we're just gonna Control Z until we get it just right. Okay. Oop. No, this needs to die. Okay. And then flatten. All right. Take this back into here. Control Z this to get back here. Paste over this. Again, we're gonna match them pixels by getting real close. And how does that look? Almost. Almost. I want to get that layer mask from the scalp. I want to make sure like it starts to fade before it hits the hairline. So delete layer mask, add layer mask. Okay, I'm deleting and re-adding the layer mask just to make sure it doesn't like hold anything over and like make it look weird. Let's maybe do it like this way. Goes in on that. Okay. Apply a layer mask, merge down, copy. All right, I think that is as good as I'm ever going to get this. At a certain point, you just have to understand that you don't have the knowledge and don't have the skills because you're a little bit limited with being like an absolute amateur. It's good enough. It's enough of a difference that it's going to, if anybody looks for half a second, they're going to notice it's different. It matches the style similarly enough. You got a good expressive face on there. It's going to work. For all you need it to do, it's going to work. And you just got to be happy with it. Okay. Last time. Paste. Anchor. There we go. Doesn't look absolutely atrocious. That is a victory. The only thing I think I might want to do, I might want to shrink this a little bit. Layer, scale layer, and we'll make it like, let's say 80%. That should be good. Oh, why are you doing this? GIMP's acting stupid today. All right. Arrow keys for precise movement. That is the biggest friggin' thing. Okay, so 80 wasn't quite where we wanted it. Image, nope, not image, layer. We're working with the layer specifically, 75%. Scale it. All right, how does that look overall? That's still wide. We can probably put this under that, and then it'll hide it a little bit. Okay. Do we really want to hide it, though? Yeah. A little bit, at least. You know what else we could do? We can do magic select. Get that threshold down a little bit. We don't want to grab the gray stuff. We just want to grab only the whites. Yeah. Oop, not control shift. Okay. Okay. We can split the layer. Control X, Control V, Control V, make it a new layer, put it below the original logo, and then we can do that layer mask shenanigans. Gradient. There we go. I'm gonna bring it right up to the edge of the original image. And then here we go. Starting to fade. We're getting a little bit of like color fix here, which is nice. I want the full image. These move independently. Yes, that's super weird. GIMP, why would you do something like this? It's adding an interesting effect, though. Oh, right, because we also need to move the text down. That's why it also looks off. Yeah. Boom. And boom. Okay, there we go. So now we have this nice fade effect going out here, so whenever we zoom out, it doesn't look so color clashing. Gives it a little bit of something, but you can still easily read the title text. Yeah, I'm liking this. The reason why I didn't go crazy with it, though, is because that teal will start to fade through if you're not careful with the masking effect, and I did not want that to happen. Alternatively, I guess I could have had a black background to it, but this works. We're going to apply that layer mask, MGSV TPP 2, I guess. Then we're just going to, bam, merge those. All right. And that's my first thumbnail. So we're going to, in GIMP, go up to File, Export As. I have a naming structure here, so that is going to be MGSV TPP for the Phantom Pain, because this is not Ground Zeroes. I might play Ground Zeroes at some point. I want to keep them separated. And then S for streams on the end. because I have two denotations. I have the plays, which is no S, and then I have the streams, which is an S, just to make sure if I want to do something, since I'm going to do something different from the logo. You remember how I said earlier, I have the logo for the streams and I have logo for the edited Let's Plays. I can keep a thumbnail of each on hand, so I don't have to keep messing with them and editing them over and over. And you'll see here, that's kind of what I have going on here. I have like a lot of my old stuff, not actually that much of my old stuff. Some of my old stuff is in here that I didn't like as much, or I was trying different stuff and wanted to change the style. Like this was my Zelda 1 randomizer originally. And then I decided I need to get my face in there, so I retooled it a little bit, and now it went from, we'll do a before and after. So it went from that to this. It's not like huge changes, but like it's enough that somebody seeing it on YouTube might catch some more detail or something a little bit more noticeable with it. So yeah, because really that's what the thumbnail is all about. It's all about something that somebody is going to see and it's going to make them curious, or which is kind of what I'm going with right now. Like I use a lot of weird goofy faces, like particularly I'm very proud of my Pokemon randomizer, my Lugia face. Because I think somebody's going to see that and they're going to be like, why the hell is his head on the body of a Lugia? Lugia. It's officially Lugia. I hate it. It's Lugia. Lugia is what I always pronounced it as. But yeah, it's something eye-catching. It's something grabbing. This is... I haven't gotten this fixed yet. So I literally just before I recorded this video started just like an hour or two ago. Did that recolor on the streams logo. So I gotta fix some of my other thumbnails to add that onto it, the new colored version. So yeah, it's a lot of... I'm micromanaging my thumbnails a lot. I very specifically create them one way, and then like a week or two later, I see, you know, oh, this works better. Oh, this has a different effect. Oh, I like this more. Oh, I think this is going to work for me better. And I have so many iterations from a lot of the things I've done. Like, so like I said, some of my old thumbnails. So here's an example of one of my old Sea of Thieves thumbnails, which it's colorful. A lot of the Let's Play channels try doing just the border all around because that differentiates it from the YouTube like background, whether you're in light mode or in dark mode. It breaks up the color differentiation. And it's a thing. It's okay. Like this wasn't bad for an early job, but like it's confusing. So it's got the name of the game, Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves. Hi, I'm Daft Plays. Like, well, that doesn't flow right. That doesn't sound good. And though the image is good, like, it just doesn't catch exactly what I want with it. And then I tried doing, instead of just the single colored border, I tried doing the like 90s, the like eye-catching pizzazzy, which I dig it. It works for me, but it's also a lot of audio noise. It's a lot of colors. It's not just colorful. It's a lot of colors throwing themselves at you and like trying to, like asking for attention. Oh, I can't make this any smaller. I was going to shrink it down a little bit. Like you see here, like, oh, we can shrink it down. That's right. So if you like seeing this on a thumbnail on YouTube and you're going through and you're like, Jesus Christ, it's too much. So that's why I decided to go back with the just like the strip of the like punched up color. It's got a couple of colors, but it's not crazy. It's enough to be eye-catching and grabbing without being noisy and loud and obnoxious. I feel. Time will tell on that, but the reason I've been micromanaging these so much is just because like it does make a difference. Like the more I've been trying with the thumbnails, like I am getting more views. And I don't know if that's all because of the thumbnails, but I know it's gonna be at least a part. It's gonna be at least a percentage, and that's if you're posting something to YouTube, you want views. You want to do everything you can to ensure you have the best possible chance of getting those views, of getting people curious and getting them to invest in your channel by clicking and spending some time watching your content. Thumbnails are the primary way you do it. And that's kind of why you want to, again, you want to have it so somebody will take notice of your video, not be annoyed by your video. Usually. There are some people that get by on the annoyance angle and it works for them. I think Game Grumps is a really good example of that. A lot of their recent thumbnails, this is as of March 2021, they've started making their gameplay thumbnails more noisy on purpose. But that's kind of their brand. They're loud, they're energetic, they're ecstatic, they're like, boom, they're in your face. It works for their style, and all the more power to them. But I try to be like punchy and energetic, but I'm like a million times more reserved than the Game Grumps. I'm very much on the same level as Pro Jared, I feel, on his gameplay stream. So, and his thumbnails kind of do the same kind of thing. They're like more reserved. They're colorful, but not crazy. They show his face a lot, though he does like more like full upper body than I do. I'm pretty much just focusing on putting my face over Link or something else right now, which I don't know. Maybe I'll get it more later. I still love this one. The freaking I had to like stretch my face out to make it fit, and I did a little bit of smudging. I notice issues like down in here, the coloration on this like little crescent, because the moon in the original was looking down to that side, so I had to kind of cover it up with some skybox, and I didn't do a good job of it, but it works. Whenever you have it shrunken down to this size, it's barely freaking noticeable, you know? Anyway, so that's my, let's see, MGS VTPPS thumbnail. And I said I was probably going to do 2 on here because I also want to do a Magic Arena 1. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to do something a little different. So we're getting rid of our Metal Gear Solid stuff. I still want daft in streams. I'm going to reserve this for a text block. So like I'm going to do a section over here. You saw on my original MTG Arena thumbnails where I had a description of like what I was playing, what deck I was running. I'm going to still do that here. So I'm going to like I'm going to like move these up a little bit and squish it a little bit so I have some room to put like some text that isn't completely drawn out by the image itself. So we're going to do the same kind of thing, image over here, a little bit of text here, just hopefully big enough font that people can read it easily without it being crazy. But we need a picture now, and I know which one I want. MTG Arena Tezzeret. Because Tezzeret is the one I use as my profile picture on Arena. I'm an artifact player a lot. Artifacts and black. You know what, green and white are my primary colors, but when I play artifacts, I do usually black artifacts. Like I have a whatchamacallit, Esper as my EDH deck. It's, let's just say it revolves around Darksteel Forge. Anyway, so we're gonna get something like this. And I know there's like some good splashes because it has his face like front and center, and I'm gonna overwrite his face with mine. So let's see if we can find like this exact image. I might actually have to open Arena and go to the profile select screen and just crop this the way I want it. And again, this is 1080. I'm not gonna get anything. Then again, it looks like whoever did this, it looks like he took a picture off of his phone or something because it kind of looks off balanced. It looks off balanced. I don't know if it is, but it looks off balanced. So we're not gonna steal that screenshot. Goodness. Is there another one I can? Oh, I dig that too. Oh, that's Izzy's artwork. I appreciate Izzy a lot. I don't know if Izzy is a he or a she, but their artwork for Arena is, or for Magic the Gathering in general, is very good. All right, so I don't think we're going to get that exact image without going into the app itself. Yeah, I'm getting my own copy. So, all right. Hold tight. I'm gonna pause the recording here, pop up Arena, and I will be back as soon as I have the screenshot that I need. Okay, so long story short, Arena has a huge update because I haven't run it in a couple of months. So I'm waiting for that to go in the background. In the meantime, I forgot to do a thing. So with the Metal Gear Solid one, I was going to put the red V over the face, kind of like the one thumbnail that we saw, the one image that we saw. So we're going to do that while we're kind of waiting for this to go. So I'm changing this to Darken, Luminance, Burn, Diffusion, Grain, Subvert. Okay, let's keep it normal for now. I'm going to want to change, I think I also want this to be exactly 50. Go with transparency, yeah. All right, so we're gonna do a little bit of this. We're gonna do color picker. We're gonna grab this red, and then we're going to do letter V, not Control V, Shift V. All right, we want this to be big, like talking like 300 point font. Oop. Actually, probably bigger than that. Might want this to be like 500 point font. That's looking better. So right over the face here. Let's get that reference again. Okay. So it's a very narrow V. It's also got that clip through it. We can do that easily enough. So let's see. For now, let's get a font. Also, this still needs to be like 750 font. Is that? Because it's like the whole height. Okay, that's good for now. We'll probably mess with the size later. So we want to pick the fonts. Let's do, I guess we can just like start at the top. We're looking for a font that is tall and narrow. Let's just actually shrink this a little bit too. It's like, that should be fine. Okay. Tall and narrow font. That is tall and narrow, but not exactly. Maybe we'll make it bold. Maybe we'll bold the thing too. Yeah. I want the outer side to be narrow, but the actual like arms to be fat. So we'll do bold. Line this up a little bit just so we have a little bit of room to play with. Okay. This is also a big thing. Okay, it's a sans serif. It's a very strict letter. Finding the right fonts. Ooh, Amiri Quran. Amiri Quran is not bad. Arial is surprisingly not bad. Arial heavy, I don't see a difference. Bond Schrift. Bond Schrift might actually be it. That's very similar. It's narrower though. Bond shrift bold condensed. Hmm. That ain't bad. We need to make it a bigger font, but that might be our boy. I'm gonna try some. I'm gonna keep looking, but we need to remember bond shrift bold condensed. I want to get something where the inside is a little bit shorter, but that's not a bad. Oh, it's not a bad option. Also very narrow. Yeah, I like bond shrift bold condensed. Or bond shrift condensed. I guess it's the same if we have it bold. Light condensed, semi-bold. No. Finding the right fonts for a lot of things can be tough. And I do understand that, and I do know that. I'm also just one of those people that, like, if you're gonna do it right. What the farts? Just like way off the bottom? Yeah, it is. Okay, fine, we'll make it taller, I guess. God, why are these all over because I have the font size so big, that's why. Okay. But yeah, I'm one of the people that if you're gonna do it right. So again, I recognize and understand I have a skill limitation, but that doesn't mean I'm not gonna do the best I feel I can do every single time. Like, I'm gonna push for 100% every time I do something like this, because that's how I am. It might not come out perfect, or it might not come out the way I have imagined it in my mind, but again, as long as you understand you have those limitations, and you know when to take something and be like, it's as done as I can do it, that's okay. Okay, Franken Gothic Medium. Franken Gothic Medium ain't bad either. It's not as narrow, but it's got a shorter bowl, so we can cut off that segment down here without too much bad. So Franklin Gothic Medium. We'll try one and then the other end. Holy moly. Let's try to unbold this one. That's very fat. That is very fat. That is too fat. All right. God, a lot of these are so similar. Like, all the serif ones look almost identical. All the sans serif ones look almost identical. Like, nobody's doing anything, like, particularly crazy with a lot of these fonts. Makes me a little sad. Like, I like fonts where they decided to do something, like, interesting and unique with it. Like there. MV Bully. It literally looks like somebody took, like, in Paint, in MS Paint, which is like, yep, there's a V. Let's see. That's a little different. Rounded outers, but the inside is pointed. And most of these are almost identical. I might do two of these, one with the Franken Gothic bold and one with the Bear Shite, whatever it's called, and see which one I like better. If I don't find something nicer in the meantime, but I'm getting very close to the end of the list. Let's see. So many of these letters look literally identical, and it makes me very frustrated. Why is that a V? I don't know. Tacoma. Tahoma's not quite narrow enough, but it ain't bad. Oh, webdings and wingdings. Okay. All right, you know what? We're gonna go up and do Boschrift. Boschrift bold condensed. I think that's our one. That's as close as we're gonna get. I can maybe Google the font. You know, I'm not going to that much effort. I'm going to a considerable effort. I'm not going to that much effort. All right, and there's our V. Goes pretty much there. Pretty much toe to tip. It goes, covers the ear. I'm moving up a little bit because I want it to cover like a little bit. I want it to hide the face cut off a little bit more. Not a ton, but like it just like where, yeah, that's a little ugly back there, so I want it to cover like that. All right, so now, nose, the nose. So now we're gonna change the options for this layer. Unspace composite. Actually, we need to merge it down first. Yeah. Okay, we've merged it down to here. Layer attributes. So we could mess with the opacity. I don't think that's what's gonna do this for us. We're gonna mess with the type, the mode. So if we do erase, like it takes off whatever that interacts with, of course we don't want that. If we do merge, what that looks like, nothing. That's nothing. The ones I particularly was thinking about was dodge, color, and burn. Let's try dodge. That is a cool effect. That is a really cool effect, actually. I might do dodge on it just because it's going to be different. I dig that. But no, let's look at the other one. So addition, I don't think is going to do anything. It's very bright. You know what? That is very bright. That color of red is much darker in the original. Layer. We're not gonna mess with that right now. So okay, addition is a possibility. Let's try burn. Burn is what they did. Burn is 100% what they did. But that burn is also very dark. So there was an additional option which was burn, linear burn. That did not change anything. So that's the same kind of effect that we want, but we want the image to be punchier. We want our red to be brighter. Overlay is an option also. Yeah, because we kind of want it to blend into the colors, but we still want it to kind of stand on its own. Ooh, like that. Like from a personal standpoint, I might be able to do some fun stuff with the light options. Vivid light? That's almost exactly the same as dodge. Vivid light and dodge are very similar, it looks like. Grain merge. What if we do grain merge and then also cut back the opacity a little bit? Maybe like 50-ish. That might be our key. Let's do like 40-ish. The red is a little bit brighter, so adjusting with the opacity does lead to that problem where it's gonna make it darker, but we don't want it like super dark. This ought to do though. All right, so the only other thing I want to do on here is, oh, no. I said R. I'm gonna do a thank you. Why are you doing this right now? Friggin'. My setting's weird. No, I do not want to expand from center. I don't know how that got selected. Okay. So there's a chunk of this missing in the original, and we want to replicate that. There. You know what? We'll make it higher up. Because there was that still like that stump. So let's do like this. Yeah, it doesn't look identical, but people will know what it is to see it. So there we go. No, ooh, rename this. The one thing I should actually do is I should just merge this straight down. There we go. So now that is permanently looks like that. I'm happy with it. Now we're gonna re-export that. Beautiful. Okay, so that was fixing that. I'm gonna do the arena thing, and then I'll be back. Okay, that didn't take very long at all, so we're back. So we have the Tezzeret screenshot. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna carve this out a little bit. You know what? I actually probably made a slight mistake here. Let me pop it open one more time. I should have gotten the I shouldn't have gotten it from the avatar select screen. I should have gotten it from like the player profile screen. And I will show you why, because I know what I'm going to do with this. So let's reopen. Where's MTG Arena? There it is. You're not going to see it. It's on my primary monitor, and you guys can only see my secondary. Ha ha ha. You guys ain't seen anything unless I specifically deign to allow you to see it. Okay. Beautiful. Okay. I'll print screen. Paste it over here. Mastery. Ugh. We lost after Kaldheim is released in 19 days. Great. If I wanted to try to catch up, I have less than 3 weeks. Not worth it. I haven't played MTG Arena in way too long. I super duper love Magic, but it's just too much with the way it's rotating sets. Anymore. It's just too much. Okay, so we're gonna crop down this. And we're gonna get like this out of it. Yeah. Which is way more than the 720 we're looking for, so. Nope, not that. 1280 by 720. We're gonna keep canvas size. See what we got here. How do we want to do this? Do we want to choke up and get the Tezzeret info? Or do we want to push it down, get just the name, and then have a little bit? I think that'll work. Yeah, I think that'll work for what I'm doing here on mine. One thing I should mention, if you switch back and forth between GIMP and Paint.net like I do, the hotkeys for most of the commands are completely different. So if you want to do an area select on Paint.net, it is S for select. And then hitting S multiple times cycles through your selection tools. So rectangle select, lasso select, something else I never use, and the magic wand select. However, in GIMP, it's R for rectangle select, and that specifically gives you rectangle select, or E for ellipse select, or yada yada. So I get myself mixed up a lot jumping back and forth. Be careful of that if you do the kind of stuff I do. Like, by all means, if you can learn to do it all in GIMP, go for it. More power to you. I can't. I'm not that good. I'm not that patient with GIMP. Anyway, but we have Tezzeret with this kind of smarmy look on his face, kind of, You know, that might be, that might be the face I pick. All right. All right, chair out of the way, back to the phone. And this one should be a little bit easier to get because I only want a straight on face pick. So, okay, I'm gonna duck down a little bit so I get the full green screen. Okay, how that looks. Okay, that'll work. His eyes are wide open. I'm doing the little bit of like, But I like that for what I'm doing. Now, share to drive, save, uploading, switch to drive so that it actually uploads. And then we wait for it to show up on my side. In the meantime, oh boy, Tezzeret's going to be a little bit harder. He's got this like coat thing. I definitely wanted to try to cover my face a little bit, so I got to be careful to piece around that without losing. You know, I can actually start cleaning this off now while I'm waiting for the image to pop up in my drive folder. I can do something like this, and then back up to, let's see, 500. No, back up to 100, please. All right. All right, just need to wait for it on this end. Oh, synced just now. Done. All right. Edit. Now we know how big this image is. Tezzeret's face is ballpark 232, so we'll make like 250, and then we can crop out the top of my head. So again, we're going to start by editing the raw full-sized image. We're going to get rid of the green screen as much as possible. It's still catching some stuff I don't want it to up in my beard. It's catching a little bit too much of my hair, but then again, cow. Can. I don't want that though. It's catching too much of my hair yet, so let's tone it down a lot. There we go. Now here we want the 2000. That's about all we need to clean off of this. lasso select to get the fringe. Smooth this out, take off. I wish my hand was steadier. Actually, the ear is probably not going to show up. Like, that's going to be behind Tezzeret's dreadlocks, so I don't need to worry about the ear that much. Okay, we're going to ignore that. I do want to get this stuff, though, as much of the fuzz as possible. Ugh. Ah, God. I need a steadier hand. I wish I had a steadier hand. Just do this. Do the rectangle select. There we go. Yeah, I'll be fine. Up through here. And isn't bad. Probably anything above here is going to be covered by Tezzeret's hair. So I probably don't need to mess with that too much. We're just gonna take this and we're just gonna feather this a little bit just to get the, oh no, that's too much. That is way too much. Just gonna like some spot pass. Round it out a little bit. Yeah, it doesn't have to look perfect because, again, most of this is going to be covered up by the original image. And it's also going to be shrunk, so it's going to hide a lot of this stuff too. You know, we can just also do this. If you're confident about how steady your hand is, you can actually just do this. You can actually just grab the erase tool and just trim out the stuff you don't want by hand. I just usually choose to lasso because I'm a little bit more confident in my lasso skills than I am with just open erasing. But yeah, this isn't too bad. You just comb straight down along, and that really helps in cutting out that green garbage. Especially if you're very good at. I know a lot of people use like Wacom tablets. There are some knockoff ones you can get from. I got one way back in the day off of Monoprice, which was cheap. It was very good. It wasn't like a one-to-one. Like a lot of Wacoms will be one-to-one. A lot of Wacoms will have a usable space of approximately 1920 by 1080 on like an 8.5 by 11 sheet, something like that. Ballpark. I don't know the exact measurements, but I know it's ballpark around there. And then you can just plug that in and use a stylus basically directly on your monitor via this tablet, so that I could take a pencil and like be like, oh, and it would be down on the tablet on like my desk, but it would correspond to what's going on screen. But that, I think, is a lot nicer for doing this kind of work if you have a Wacom or similar. Than trying to do all this with a mouse. A lot of people are not very steady with a mouse with this kind of work. I know I'm not. I would love to have a Wacom tablet. I lent mine to somebody and it never made its way back, even though it was a cheapo. But no, I'm not upset about it, more than the fact that throughout the last handful of years, there have been several times where it's like, oh man, I could really use that tablet again. It would be so helpful for what I'm doing right now. But oh well, it is what it is. So again, we don't need to color out everything. We're just going to grab the head, copy, new, paste, grab the white splotch, not Control E, just E. All this garbage. Then how big was Tezzeret's again? So it is 140 by 232, so we're shooting for about 250. Resize height 250. And we're going to paste that on layer 2 and see how it looks. That is not bad, but we can do a little better. It's actually a little too small. So instead of shooting for 250, let's shoot for, say, 275. Give us a little bit more room to work with. There we go. I like that. The only other thing I'm going to do, since Tezzeret's face is kind of tilted slightly, ever so slightly to the right, we're going to come back to this. We're going to do image, flip horizontal so that I'm also looking kind of to that side. Then we're going to paste that. All right, perfect. All right, now we're just going to take, in this case, we're just going to take the lasso select since we know my face is almost identical to Tezzeret's. We're just going to take lasso select. We're going to shave out here. We're going to go kind of broad strokes at first, and then we're going to dial it in. That should be good. There's the one issue there. So we need to move this a little to the side. And again, I think I did this earlier, but here's another spot where you can just use the erase tool if you're very careful. You know, we're not going to do 20, we're going to do 10. We're going to make a little tiny erase tool, and we're just going to try to like, ooh, wrong layer, bad. I have another face just kind of off. You know what? 100. Okay. Then back to 10. Okay. All right, I don't want the ears to be exposed, so we're gonna leave that as it is. God dang it. Okay. Getting a little out of control here with what's doing what. There. Widow's Peak. Desert got a Widow's Peak. Oh boy, does he. Got some like massive dreads on this guy. I'm kind of envious of anybody that can have like a huge haircut like that and work it. Tezzeret works it. I know he's technically evil and an agent of Bolas, but like he's legitimately one of my favorite planeswalkers. Just like from a style perspective. And anybody that's watching this just for the tutorial and doesn't actually know much about Magic is probably super lost. It's fine. Don't worry too much about it. Here. I did cut a little bit more than I wanted to out actually on some of those spots. So I'm gonna go back and grab the original image and take like select little spots out of it. Okay. What we got going on here. So we still got a little bit of beard left. So we can go a little bit further down here yet. Get some of the shadowed stuff. But that's about where, oh, wrong layer, stop it. About as far as I want to take it in most of these spots. Yeah, because like it's right on the border of the transparent parts now. There. Yeah, I want to get a little bit more of Tezzeret's hairline, front hairline back in here. It's the same image here. This is literally the exact same image. Can I do something like, I like take this out, like get his gnarly forehead tattoo? Something like this. Yeah. Do something like that. Yeah. I'm gonna take this whole thing up here. Copy. Oh yeah. Other issue is that I resized this, so this is gonna be no. That's the right size. Okay, and you can see where his hair is lined up at. So we're gonna just do like right there. There we go. Now I am Tezzeret, Agent of Bolus. Equal Bolus. Okay, cool. All right, and that's what we want out of this. So we're gonna merge it all together. Gonna get rid of this white. I hate it. Okay. And then we're gonna go back into GIMP here. We're gonna get rid of the Metal Gear Solid stuff. We're gonna paste this to a new layer. Oop, wrong. Cool. Now we have our own image of me as Tezzeret, Agent of Bolus, right here, ready to be used. Now the only thing we need is the Magic Arena logo, which I'm gonna put up here in the corner, and then, you know what, I said I was gonna trim off some of this for text. We're gonna do that. We're gonna trim off, like, say, this much here. All right. Back to Google, photo searching. MTG Arena logo. We're gonna grab, I think I like this one. Paste. That's tiny. That is so tiny. That is so tiny. Okay. Not that one then. Loading. Come on. That also is very dark. Very small. 600 by 252. Come on, give me something big. We need like a decent sized one here. This might be okay. That's actually too big. But we can work with that. It's not the silvered one though. I want one of the ones that have like the silver. Yeah, like this. Why is it not doing the freaking white space properly? I hate this. Doesn't actually have transparency on it. Okay, cool, great. Somebody was being a goof. I hate whenever you do that. Like, you search for images on, like, online, and then you see the background is those, like, somebody literally took, you know, like in MS Paint or something similar, where you can see, like, the checkerboard background, and they literally just took a screenshot of this and uploaded it instead of just doing the raw image. It's like, why? Why would you do that? Are you that petty and spiteful? 145. This is exactly what I want. It has transparency in the back. I just need to get one that is a little bigger. Like this one. Okay. I think we had this one. We're going to do this, though. We're going to paste it here. There we go. The transparency copied right here. This is another reason why I use paint.net a lot. It handles transparency a lot better than GIMP. Sometimes if I copy an image from a web browser and put it straight into GIMP, the transparent layer doesn't copy over properly. I have to put it into paint.net first and then copy it from paint.net over to GIMP to get it to pick up the transparent layer. Yeah, there we go. That's what we want. We're gonna drag this up here. We're gonna shrink it a little bit, but not a lot. We're gonna scale layer. We're gonna make it like 75%. That should be about good. Yeah, that'll do. So, and again, even if it's like screenshot size, like thumbnail sized, that's enough that people can see it and immediately recognize it. That's what you want. So we're gonna merge that down, save it, and then we're gonna do some text. So let's go look at some of those videos I have on the channel that are Magic Arena. Let's not look there. Let's look at the old ones I had. So this one, rank draft silver tier with red black. So we'll do Ikoria ranked draft silver red black deck. So back to the text. We're gonna do like standard black. And let's pick a neat font. So we're gonna do here Ikoria draft rank silver not rank silver, silver rank. We want the wording to be good. Red, black deck. Okay, and that gives us a commodity of space. So that gives us a commodity of space where we can make it a little bit taller and a little bit longer and still be able to get the wording to look right, which we do want to do. So we want this to be like, say like 75 font. Good. It's going to be legible. Ooh, what was that? It's going to be legible. And now we just need to pick a font that we like. We're going to make this like a little bit silver rank. Red. Make it a darker red, like red black deck. It's like a golden color. All right, so again, add a little bit more splash of color without going overboard. If we break this down to like YouTube thumbnail size, that is legible Ikoria draft silver rank red black deck. The only thing I'm maybe gonna do, I actually like this font. I like the band shrift a lot, actually. We're just gonna see if it likes bold. Oh, this is band shrift bold already. What if we do band shrift bold non-condensed? That's a big boy. How about band shrift? Band shrift. Okay, so the bold didn't do much with it. Condensed made a big deal though. Or we can 6056 font. That works. That works. I like that. So again, we're gonna punch back, even if it's a real small thumbnail, that's still legible. Daft streams, we got the Arena logo splattered right up there. Ikoria draft silver rank red black deck. The only thing I might maybe want to do. Last thing, I might want to center it. How do you center again? There we go. Ikoria draft silver rank red black deck. There we go. And that's a very specific, like this was one very specific stream I did, so I have the text indicating it. You might want to be doing, you know, something else. Like I'm going to have a bunch of MTG thumbnails. It's going to be essentially the same. It's just the text is going to be changed and it's going to look fine. It's also a little descriptive with things like this, where it's a very specific play style. Like Magic, people want to know why they want to watch your Magic video. And this shows why. I was silver ranked in a draft. I had a red-black deck. This was at Korea, so it gives you a timestamp of when this video was recorded and what kind of cards were out. So it's perfect for that kind of specific work. And the biggest thing that I forgot to say about thumbnails before that works super well here, you want to leave the lower right corner open with nothing major on it, because that is where the time codes go on YouTube. So whenever you hover over a video on YouTube, or not even whenever you're hovering, just whenever you're looking down through the list, a lot of times there will be a timer stamp in the lower right corner of the thumbnail showing how long the video is. So you don't want to put anything super important down in the lower right because it's going to get covered up. I was doing that a little earlier where I was trying to decide how I wanted to put my face on my which logo was I doing? I was doing the thumbnail for the new Link to the Past thumbnail. And I was thinking about putting my image down in the lower right because that's where I had some free space, and I had my image where I was going like, aha. But it didn't work because I didn't want most of myself being covered up by the timer, if not maybe almost all of myself. So I instead took a different picture, put it over on the left where it wasn't going to be covering up anything, but was still prominent, and it's faces. It's colorful, it has faces, it clearly displays what you are playing, why somebody would want to come look at the video. So, and that's kind of the key things. We're circling back, we keep making these same circles, but it's super important. Your thumbnails need to tell a story without being too overdone. Like you don't want to drown them with a bunch of information either, because then it just looks messy, and that's irritating. Like I said before, like the game groups. You know, let's do this just so I can show you an example. Game Grumps. And you see some of their recent videos are just, get that out of the way. Thumbnails are just like this. This thumbnail here is a mess. This thumbnail is a mess. Like there's just too much going on, and it's just like the Danganronpa ones were bad for a while. Like I think they're doing it purposefully. I think they want loud, noisy thumbnails because that's their style. But like for a lot of people, unless a lot of people are going to look at that, especially if you're a smaller channel, this works because it's the Game Grumps. People know what they're getting into whenever they're looking at Game Grumps, or if they don't, they're just going to pass it by and big deal. I think this is a little too much for like smaller, newer channels, ones that don't have as much clout, because you want something that is noticeable and appealing. This is confrontational. It's too much. It's too much. But you know what? If something else works for you, go for it. This is just what I wanted to show off a little bit. This is just what I wanted to. This is just a tutorial for how I am making my thumbnails and the reasoning why I'm doing what I'm doing with them. And if you guys want to follow along and use the same kind of guidelines, like I said, I'm going to have the tools down in the description, so you guys can get everything I'm using to work with. Google's your best friend when looking for images. Just the one thing that I'm going to ask personally, don't take off DeviantArt. Don't take off these art. Don't take off like Imager. If you're going to take an art image, take something official. Don't be a jerk and take like somebody's really cool DeviantArt picture and use that for your thumbnail uncredited or anything like that. That's a dick move. Don't be that guy. Use official art, or use stuff that's widely circulated enough that it doesn't matter. That being said, like I'm all for art. Like I use some DeviantArt in my streams, but like it's one of those things where if somebody asks me, I know where to tell them to go and find the image, because I like a lot of this stuff a lot. That I use for the backgrounds, and like I want to be able to give credit for them. But for your thumbnails, if it's going to be eye-catching, If you're using it just for eye-catching, don't steal somebody else's work for it. Use something official and distributed widely. But I guess that's my soapbox, and that's kind of everything I had going on here today. That's pretty much all I wanted to show. Like, this is going to go straight into one of my videos. So if you see it later, take a look. I actually was super proud of the video that this came from. I had a lot of fun with it. My deck worked really well. I had a pretty good win rate off of it. So yeah, take a look at it. But either way, everybody that's taking a look here, like, check out some of my other stuff. I do a lot of Let's Plays, a lot of playthroughs, Magic, Zelda, Pokemon, bunch of random stuff, Metal Gear Solid you saw up here. I'm doing Twitch, streaming. I'm on, besides just YouTube, like I'm doing YouTube Live, I have a Facebook page for my channel. I'm up on Mob Crush and D-Live and a bunch of other streaming services that I'm going to have linked below. So whatever, pick your poison. If you want to see some more of me, there's all the spots you can find it. Pick whichever one you like best, because I'm agnostic about it. As long as somebody's catching my content and they like what they see and they're enjoying it, I don't care what platform they see it on. So by all means, stop by however you want. But if this tutorial did some good for you, if you're going to use the information in it, I gotta ask, please give me a like. Give me a subscribe if you really if you really want to. Throw in some comments, like ask me about some other tutorials that you want to see, or if you want some specific examples of some of the other stuff I've done for my thumbnails or anything else, like leave a comment. I am thirsty for comments. I will drink that shiz up. I will respond to you immediately as soon as I get a notification, just because interaction's good for your channels, guys. If you're watching this, it's probably because you also want your channel to be growing and be doing good stuff. Interaction is king. If you get people commenting and talking back and forth on your video, that's great for your channel growth. Do it. And by all means, give me a little bit of love and do the same for me. But either way, thank you so much, everybody, for watching, and hopefully we will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.